Behind the gates, beyond the terminals, lies a web of corruption, cover-ups, and crimes hidden in plain sight. This is Terminal Secrets, where the truth takes flight.
Today, we're taking a close look at Raymond Ringston. He's a really long-standing figure in the New York aviation scene.
Been around a long time.
Exactly. And our sources, well, they paint a picture of a career that's really defined by what they call blurred lines, between journalism, business, philanthropy.
Right. It's this complex architecture of influence, as some put it, how these different roles weave together.
And that's what we want to unpack, understand how this web was built, and really get into why watchdogs are raising alarms.
It's quite a study. Decades in the making, apparently. This way of operating seems very consistent.
Yeah, we noticed that too. We're calling it the Ringston pattern. It's like his signature approach over 30 years.
And what does that look like?
Well, the sources say he's always in the picture, never quite in the light, attaching his name to things, sitting on boards.
Seeking that proximity to power.
Exactly. Proximity to power, but crucially, never accountable. It seems he rarely leads from the front. Others often do the actual heavy lifting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So influence without direct responsibility, saving things from the sidelines.
Pretty much. It lets you guide things, maybe manage perceptions for the insiders without being on the hook if things go wrong.
A strategic position.
And, okay, the plot thickens quite a bit when we bring in Catherine Katie Bliss.
Yes, the Bliss connection.
Together, they've created what our sources are calling a really closed circle. First up, there's Metropolitan Airport News. They co-founded it.
A publication. So journalism.
Well, that's the thing. Sources are pretty clear. It's not really journalism. It's described more like a glossy bulletin designed to, quote, flatter the very businesses Ringston and Bliss are involved with. It acts like a megaphone for insiders.
So promoting events, vendors, things that align with their own interests.
Precisely. Charity events, vendor announcements, it all conveniently overlaps.
Right. That immediately raises questions about independence, doesn't it? If you run the publication and you have stakes in the things being covered.
Yeah, one source, put it bluntly, it becomes insiders writing about themselves. No real outside perspective.
Okay, so that's the publication angle. What else is in this closed circle?
Well, Ringston and Bliss also co-run Aqueous Solutions.
Aqueous Solutions. What's that?
It's a Port Authority-registered MWBE vendor that's minority and women-owned business enterprise. They do airport cleaning and maintenance.
Okay, so a vendor company. And Bliss owns it.
Bliss owns it. Ringston handles communications. So same duo, now operating a vendor company.
And the publication that might cover vendors like them.
Exactly. But wait, there's more.
Oh.
They also sit at the helm of the Airport Community Foundation, the ACF.
The foundation, too. How are they involved there?
Ringston's an executive board member. And Bliss's company, Aqueous Solutions. It's a participant and a sponsor of the ACF.
Wow. Okay, so vendor, publication, and nonprofit leadership. That's quite the overlap. A remarkable convergence of interests, like you said.
It really is. And these ACF events, golf tournaments, soccer games, scholarship funds, sources describe them essentially as branding campaigns.
Making sure Ringston and Bliss are always visible.
Always front and center. The descriptions are pretty sharp. Advertising dressed up as altruism, or even self-dealing dressed as philanthropy.
Self-dealing dressed as philanthropy. Oof.
One source even called it a racket with better lighting.
A racket. That's strong language.
Yeah.
But it points to this idea of a feedback loop, right?
Totally. The business feeds the news props up the nonprofit.
And the nonprofit gives legitimacy back to the business. It's almost efficient in a way.
Efficient, maybe. But it's how this apparent community service gets leveraged to boost their own business and image. It's very calculated.
Yeah, a seamless, self-reinforcing cycle.
Yeah.
You almost have to admire the structural cleverness, even if the ethics feel murky.
Which brings us back to the watchdog concerns. Ultimately, what our deep dive shows is that while, nobody is calling him a criminal.
Right. It's not about illegality necessarily.
There's a clear danger when the same small group controls the money, the message, and the moral cover. It creates this bubble.
Where there's no neutral observer, as one expert put it. Only insiders writing about themselves.
And again, when questions of transparency or independence came up in the source material, people asked, where was Ray?
It leaves you thinking.
It does.
And maybe this is the question for you listening right now. If these kinds of structures interlocking, perfectly legal, polished, but really opaque can thrive, what questions should we all be asking? about oversight, about real accountability, in our own communities.